Hi, Alicia. Welcome today. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Moses. How are you?
Good. Happy Friday.
Listen.
You ready for our long weekend? You have a long weekend? You off Monday?
I am not off Monday. I have to work.
Oh, no.
Yep, I got to work in the morning. I got to work Monday,
Okay.
but it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's celebrate that it is Friday and we'll have a weekend, a good weekend.
Yes, ma'am.
So, how has your week been, or how was today compared to like last week?
Yeah, it's been a very very busy week for me. I had a lot of training at work. Um,
Hmm.
so I live 13 minutes from my station, so I'm
Hmm.
used to getting up and just driving the 13 minutes and coming home.
Yeah.
I had training. I had to drive kind of like to the west side of town a little bit to the police academy.
Okay.
So traffic was like, oh my God.
Oh, not
uh,
used to that.
yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, and traffic could be taxing too, especially Chicago traffic. So
Yeah,
that's
even
understandable.
though actual job, like you could have a decent day, but then that traffic wears you out.
Wears you out. I get sleepy in traffic, so I understand.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. All right. So what do you want to talk about today? We wrapped up some things last week. I didn't give you any homework assignments, so we don't have to discuss any homework assignments. So what would you like to chat about today?
Um, let's talk about my job, like how I got my job. Because
Okay.
were asking me at work when they found out that like I have a social work degree and I'm
Hmm.
working on my master's, like why would I
Hmm.
choose to do that? So I started out even before I knew I wanted to pursue a degree in social work. Um, I want to say I started out as a psychology major, but I wasn't serious about school. So I was like, I want to join the police force. So I took the test, but I let my family talk me out of it when I was like in my early 20s.
Hmm.
And
Wait,
and
how did they talk you out of it?
they were like, "Oh, that's a dangerous job.
Oh.
You do that. These people are crazy."
Hmm.
And they're not wrong.
Yeah. So your
They,
family was probably more fearful for
oh,
you than encouraging.
yeah, for sure. Um,
Okay.
so then I went and got my BSW. I started working. Um, I worked for FQHCs. I worked for county. When I lived in Indianapolis for 10 years, I worked for Marion County Health Department. I
Hmm.
worked for County Health Department. I worked with HIV positive patients. I worked with refugees, moms, babies, veterans, women in prison, like some of everybody.
A
And
lot of population.
yeah, a lot of population. And then in 2019, I got actually they found me on indeed.com. It's a mental online mental health company called Quartet Health.
Hmm.
Um, and they hit me up and asked me for an interview and told me about the position. And I'm like, well, why not? Like it's a work from home job. I would love that.
Okay.
So went through the whole interview process. Um, it was around Thanksgiving of 2019. And so, long story short, they offered me the position, but they said, well, hey, why don't we do this? You take the month of December to like wrap up any projects, give your 2 week notice, and we'll start clean after the new year.
Hmm.
Okay, cool, no problem. And I look back on that and I'm like, that was such divine intervention because what ended up happening 3 months after the new year was a world pandemic and everybody
COVID.
worried about,
Hmm.
and I had just got this online job.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and so I was able to be at home with my kids throughout the whole pandemic. I didn't have to worry about like where they would go while I was at work and so on
Hmm.
and so forth. So it ended up working out well.
Okay.
In the pandemic, a lot of funds, extra funding in the social work world kind of dried up a little bit, a
Hmm.
lot, actually. And so I there was a time period between 2020 and 2021 where I made like a bunch of money. I had a bunch of side hustle data entry jobs with Blue Cross Blue Shield that I was doing. Like I was making good money. So like
Hmm.
when that kind of dried up, I ended up being laid off for 8 months
Oh, wow.
um in 22. And yeah, 22. So I just so happened to be talking on the phone to this guy I was dating at the time. And I was like, man, I used to really want to join the police department, but I let my family talk me out of it, and I'm too
Mhm.
old. Like, no, you're not. You can apply for CPD until you're 40. And I'm like, eh. And he was like, no, for real. He was like, let me check and see when the next test date is. And this was like a Thursday. I'm
Mhm.
like, oh. He called me back and he was like, they have a walk-in test on Saturday. Just go take the test. And I'm like, eh. So I was like, whatever, I'll do it. And
Mhm.
because I've always had a heart and mind to work in service, even
Mhm.
if it's a social worker. But I come from a family of helping professions, teachers, doctors, nurses,
Mhm.
like everybody had, and if they don't do that for a living, they are the type of person who is helpful to others. So
Like volunteering and things.
for sure,
Okay.
for sure. So I went to take the test and things just kind of unfolded. I was just kind of like, I don't really I want to do the job. I've always wanted to do it. Um, but I'm in a position now where like I don't have anything going. I'll just see what happens. And it really just started to unfold. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm really, you know, getting to the place where I'm gonna be, offered this position.
Mhm.
Um, and so they put me through a polygraph exam and a very intricate, intricate background check. Like I want to say during my background check, I think they found my parents' address in college and asked me about that address. Yeah.
Wow.
So among other things. But yeah, and so I got into the police academy at 36 years old, which in the police world is kind of old.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, went through about 9 month police academy, and then out on the streets, and so that's what I've been doing ever since. But it's social work. Having that degree and background has really helped me.
Okay.
It's law enforcement, but it is a lot of knowing how to talk to people, how to interview and listen to people, and
Mhm.
using motivational interview skills to
Yeah.
build rapport and like all of those things have been really helpful. So, and I feel like social work has played a big part in that.
Okay. That's good. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. In our time, that was really that's interesting. And I'm glad that's interesting you said divine intervention, especially just the timing for it to him to check on a Thursday and then for you to go test on a Saturday. That's within 48 hours. That's great.
Yep,
That is
yep.
great. Yeah. Well,
Divine
we're
intervention.
coming to a close of our session. So the homework I'll give you for next week, so you can start thinking about this, is how you are going to mesh or merge your current job into your MSW. Like when what will that kind of look like, once you graduate. And we can discuss that next week.
Sounds good. Thank you,
Okay.
Monique.
All right, you're welcome. See you next week.
Bye bye.
Okay, bye-bye.